welcome back to Showcase. I'm your host, Jayna Jennings, and today I get to interview Jessica Horton and talk all about her new single, Pictures, and her new album coming out, Both Feet In. So be sure to tune in after this. Your love is like a river that flows to the sea. I can feel when I see it, the love you have for me. You can drown in your sorrows or rely on me. Oh darling, you can rely on me. If we hear a song in your heart and my heart, our heart, and we can take a journey apart, apart. If you can love and I can love and the world around can see, there's a little more free for you and me. My heart is like a ladder that only gets bigger each time that you climb higher. And if we lean on each other, we can be set free. Oh yeah, let's follow the current to the greatness we can be. If we hear a song in your heart and my heart, our heart, can we take a journey apart, apart? If you can love and I can love and the world around can see, there's a little more free for you and me. Can we hear a song in your heart and my heart, our heart, and we can take a journey apart, apart. If you can love and I can love and the world around can see, there's a little more free for you. Yeah. My guest today is the amazing Jessica Horton. She's a gospel singer and a folk singer, right?
Mhm.
And so you pretty much do all the genres, and I am an Americana artist and a gospel artist too, and I know that there's a lot of obstacles that come with that.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming. And I'm just jumping into the questions because I want to ask you this one. So I really want to know, like, what do you think is the best and worst part of being in multiple genres?
Yeah, I remember when we first met, that was one of the things we kind of bonded over immediately, was talking about the crossover. And I think that so far, in my experience, there's been more to gain from having a cross-genre kind of background than there has been obstacles so far.
Yeah.
Because I think people like to know that you're human, and that you understand the human struggle, and it's not some sort of like, oh, holier than thou, high and mighty. It's not just all straight in your face gospel message all the time. Your life, your humanity is also part of the gospel message, and there's something kind of sweet about it. So I think that so far that's been my experience. I mean, sure, there are folks that go, well, everything you sing is supposed to be, if you're really a Christian, everything you sing is supposed to be, you got to say Jesus in there somewhere, but that's few and far between. I think more people now are just thirsty for realness, rawness, for people to just be open and honest and real.
And talk about their whole life.
Their whole life.
And I've always had to deal with people being like, oh, if you're not singing just gospel music, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I've always thought,
I guess I just don't hear them anymore.
You just
it's like,
and so I totally wanted to ask you that question because I deal with the same thing of like, it's like some people really like it and really like the mixed genre, and some people like the mix of genres, and some people are like, you shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. But I think if you're living inside of God's will and you're writing about your experiences there, then that can help somebody else. And it's every good and perfect gift comes from God, and so all these songs that you're writing about your life that He's given you is honoring Him and glorifying Him, I think.
I agree. I think that my particular life walk hasn't been one that, if somebody comes up to me and they're talking to me about their life, my first instinct isn't to say, oh, well, God's got it all under control. You just, pray and it's going to be good. I mean, that's true. We know that's true, but my first thought doesn't go to, well, let's give Him a Jesus answer. My first thought goes to, I hate that you feel this way right now. I hate that you're struggling with this. I hate that this has happened to you. What do you need? And then Jesus just shows up in the middle of it, and I just think that that's been my experience. So the music kind of reflects that for me, it's just all of it. It's the whole life experience. And I will say, there's also like wise choices, like when you're building a CD or, you're thinking about, well, who's going to listen to this CD? And, so I try to pick and choose what I put on an album. But as far as for a show and, it just depends on who I'm in front of. Sometimes I'll mix it up and do some country stuff, and I'll also, weave it all together. But, if I go to a gospel convention, I'll probably just do gospel-centered music, and, but people are usually really open to the storytelling as well.
And a lot of your songs do tell stories, like your new single, Pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love the story behind that one. So can you tell our viewers a little bit about where that came from and what that means?
Yeah. So when I write songs, I usually I set aside a time, and then I sit down, and then that's my time to think about and process. So I had this thought, do you know that old school, I've got a mansion just over the hilltop? Yeah. So I was thinking to myself, I really, especially because I had been doing a lot of gospel conventions, I was like, I really want to write a gospel song in the line of like an old country gospel vibe, but make it something new. So I sat down and I guess this kind of bluegrass vibe sort of started coming, but then I had this image of like a mansion, and inside it were just these pictures along the wall, like might be in your house, or like these behind you. You walk into a house, there's pictures in it, and they tell the story of your life. They tell you your joys, your precious moments, and I couldn't really see anything on the pictures, but there was this idea of, what's going to be on your pictures, at the end of your life, if you looked back and all the things that you're going to be held accountable for, what will be your moments? Will you have taken advantage of every moment to show people who Jesus really is, or will you have let your petty show, or will you have, taken a moment to make yourself bigger, And I think we would all agree that at the end of our days, we don't want to have many regrets. We really don't want to have any regrets, but there will be some. But I think minimizing those regrets means making the most out of each moment and each opportunity to be what God wants us to be.
I love that message. And definitely, when I think about, when you are really old and you're looking through your pictures, are you going to be happy and with a bunch of people? Or are you going to be sad and angry?
And that's so important to me. Yeah. I mean, I've lost all of my grandparents. I don't have any grandparents alive anymore, and I was with them through their passing. And I think the first grandparent I lost, I didn't have closure over it, and it just changed everything for me, and just changed my whole mindset of, we just don't have enough time in this world to be so petty and foolish and unwise and angry, and there's just no room for it. So
yeah, I completely agree, and I think that even if your choices that you've made have even just made people, you lost friends through talking about Jesus, or you lost friends for just doing the right thing. When you look back on your life and you see the pictures, you don't want to regret. You don't want to regret staying there with somebody that didn't understand you and didn't get you and didn't support you in your faithful endeavors. Yeah. And so I thought there were so many different ways that your song could go. Like, your song has meaning for are you going to be kind to people? Are you going to show love to everyone, or are you going to go show the message of Christ, or are you going to learn everything you can, and all these different things. You can talk about every different dimension of your life with this song, and I really love that. So I want to hear you sing it.
Thank you. I would love to. Oh, I heard of a land where the joy shall never end, and my heart says I am going there someday. Pictures of the life I live today. Will there be parting words of wisdom, or an angry criticism? Will there be grace for every moment, or will I be too proud to show it? Will I cherish every minute as a gift from God each day? In my pictures of the life I live today. Will there be kindness for a stranger? Will I be entertaining angels? Will I share the good news boldly? Will I keep it near me only? Will I cherish every minute as a gift from God each day? In my pictures of the life I live today. Oh, in my pictures of the life I live today.
Thank you.
Your voice is so gorgeous.
Thank you so much. That's just a little snippet. This song is really designed to be kind of played in a circle and around with, let the mandolin player take
jam
around.
Band.
Yeah, jam band. So I love it about that too, because that's kind of part of my upbringing, and that's kind of what I wanted to bring to it, was this kind of live musician atmosphere where, all right, you sing a chorus and let Big Joe over there take a round, and come on now, sissies, come on, Madeline,
It sounds like one of those songs.
Yeah.
I can totally see that happening.
Yeah.
And are there any other songs in your album going to be like that?
Yeah, and in fact, we're bringing back a couple of old country gospel tunes that, just kind of, I think, seal it for me, because I love the old country gospel. I mean, I like the gospel music today too, but I really love the old country gospel. Like, Boxcar Willie had a few, like the old stuff. Chuck Wagon Gang, I just love them. So on this album, we have a really tender version of In the Garden. Do you know that song?
Oh,
yes.
That is so gorgeous.
Oh, I'm so excited to share that one. And then we also have a really cool version. You're going to love it. There's some folks in here that are going to love it. And it's got Life's Railway to Heaven. And it's got a little twist. So whenever it drops,
so awesome.
yeah. So when this album comes out, Both Feet In, at the end of March, is when we're supposed to have it. I will shoot it to you, but I'm excited to share all of this.
That's going to be so awesome. So, what's your favorite song off of this new album?
When you write your own music,
They're all your children.
How do you pick your favorite child? I mean, I love them all. I have one, and I'm not prepared to play it today.
Okay.
But I
won't ask.
I have one that's called Right Outside, and it's actually one of my more indirect gospel message songs. And it really has to do with the whole centered theme of this album is both feet in, just really, giving your faith your all, just being totally in it. And I have struggled my whole life with having one foot out and one foot in. And so the whole message of this song is just being right outside, and wishing that you could just do more. But it kind of lingers in that tension between not wanting to feel like you're all in. And so I guess I like it because it never resolves, because that's humanity sometimes. We just sometimes our feelings just don't resolve. And that's what I love about that one. So I'll send that one to you as soon as it's out, too.
I can't wait. That's gonna be awesome. And I feel that way I feel like songwriters have to have everything, have to put all of themselves into a song.
Yeah.
And that can be so intimidating and so hard, especially when you're writing something really personal, but it's like both feet in. You've got to go completely in with everything, with your whole heart in a song. Yeah. And then when you show it to people, you're like, oh, I really hope they like this song.
If they don't like it, they don't like me.
I know. If you don't like it, then we're obviously not friends anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got their own favorite song of an artist, but the artist, their favorite song is completely different.
Yeah.
Because they're so attached to that. Yeah. And so anyway, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
And can you tell everybody where they can find you? I know Instagram, Facebook, Spotify.
Yeah, all of that. I do have pictures on my website, jessicahortonmusic.com, but you can also find it as well as I have a Christmas tune out, and my first single, Love Wins, is out on iTunes, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you're looking for, online media.
Awesome. Everybody be sure to go look up Jessica. And now we are going to sing Amazing Grace together.
I'm so excited. I just love your voice.
Oh, I love your voice. Thank you. All right, ready?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've numberless days to sing God's praise. Then when we first begun.
Thank you for singing that with me, Jessica. And thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time on Showcase with Jayna Jennings. Bye.
Today's showcase is brought to you by Grant's Guardians, crafts and jewelry made by hand. Buy a little piece of love and take home today from the Smoky Mountains. Go over to their webpage or check them out on Facebook. Again, that's Grant's Guardians.